Green Movement 2030, spearheaded by Professor Ripu Ranjan Sinha, is a multifaceted initiative designed to align national development aspirations with global mandates for sustainability and peace. Positioned as a movement for creation of scientific temper and synergies among the youth, its central purpose is to innovate India, sustain India, and develop India at 2030. This initiative extends its philosophical and operational reach beyond India, with a stated aim to contribute to global innovation, peace, and sustainable development for the betterment of humankind. The movement's philosophy is elegantly captured in its dual-pillar framework of red and green, which serves as a memorable and accessible guide for its complex and far-reaching objectives. Professor Sinha, as the initiator and main celebrant of the movement, brings 2 decades of experience as a professor, researcher, and academic administrator to this role. Known as a man with innovative vision, his leadership is rooted in a fundamental belief that national development is intrinsically dependent on a country's human resources and their capacity to innovate and create new products and services. This core principle forms the theoretical underpinnings of the entire movement, which seeks to transform developing nations into developed states through the nourishment of an innovative culture. As a strategist and promoter, Professor Sinha's influence is amplified through a diverse network of organizations and alliances he has founded, or with which he is closely associated, including the World Academy of Informatics and Management Sciences, WAIMS, and the India-Africa Knowledge Consortium. The strategic architecture of the Red-Green Movement is not that of a monolithic organization. Instead, it functions as a unifying philosophy or flagship initiative that integrates and provides a common purpose for Professor Sinha's existing and diverse network of academic, corporate, and nonprofit affiliations. This approach is a key strategic decision, as it allows the movement to leverage pre-existing infrastructure and expertise for resource mobilization and influence projection. The movement's power lies in its ability to act as the central thesis, connecting the specialized and often disparate actions of these groups under a single, cohesive narrative. This report will systematically deconstruct the Red-Green Movement by analyzing its conceptual pillars, its institutional framework, its alignment with global and national agendas, and its key initiatives. This analytical framework will provide a comprehensive understanding of the movement's strategic design and its potential for long-term impact. The philosophical core of the Red-Green Movement is its 2-pillar framework, a conceptual model that simplifies and communicates a complex vision for global development. This model is designed to be easily understood and adopted by a broad range of stakeholders, from youth to policymakers. The red pillar is explicitly defined as science, technology, innovation. This pillar is the foundational engine of the movement's vision, representing the means by which desired development outcomes are to be achieved. It aims to foster a scientific temper and innovative culture among the youth of India and Africa, a prerequisite for national and continental development. This focus is a direct extension of Professor Sinha's academic and professional background, which is rooted in computer science, software engineering, and strategic knowledge management. His work in these fields, including authoring books like Don't Kill Innovation and supervising research in futuristic information technologies, reinforces the movement's focus on technology as a transformative force. The central premise is that without the nourishment of innovation, developing countries cannot gain developed status, and that national development is entirely dependent on the involvement and ingenuity of a country's human resources. The green pillar encompasses sustainable development, peace, and environment sustainability. This pillar represents the ultimate goals of the movement, the desirable state of the world that the red pillar seeks to enable. It is a direct and intentional alignment with the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which is a global plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity that seeks to strengthen universal peace and eradicate poverty. The UN agenda's focus on balancing economic, social, and environmental dimensions of development is directly mirrored in the Red-Green Movement's philosophy. The movement's overarching goal of creating an Ek Earth vertical bar, Shrestha Earth, One Earth vertical bar, Best Earth, serves as a simplified yet powerful mantra for this complex global agenda. This pillar is also supported by Professor Sinha's affiliations with organizations like the Council for Sustainable Peace and Development, which specifically promotes peace and development on a global scale. The core thesis of the Red-Green Movement is the synergistic relationship between its 2 pillars. Red is the catalyst for green. the advancement of innovation and technology is presented as the essential means to achieve the ends of peace, sustainability, and equitable development. This model is in line with contemporary global policy trends that see technology as a central tool for addressing pressing challenges like climate change. Examples such as Cornell's 2030 project, which uses breakthrough science for climate solutions, and The Line in Neom, a zero-carbon city designed with advanced technology, reinforce the movement's central idea that technological and innovative progress is crucial for creating a more sustainable future. This contextualization indicates that the Red-Green movement is not an isolated initiative, but is conceptually aligned with leading-edge policy thought and practical projects worldwide. The conceptual framework is a sophisticated strategic tool that co-opts and rebrands established global and national policy agendas for a specific, focused mission. The UN Sustainable Development Goals, which are a universal roadmap, are explicitly mirrored in the movement's pillars. By aligning its principles with globally recognized frameworks, the movement gains immediate legitimacy and a clear, pre-established narrative. This positioning makes the movement appear not as an alternative to these global agendas, but as a practical, citizen-led mechanism for their on-the-ground achievement, making it a powerful and appealing partner for governments and international bodies seeking to demonstrate progress on their own commitments. Table 1. The Red and Green Pillars and their alignment with UN SDGs. The Red-Green Movement's pillars: Red, core thematic areas, science, technology, innovation, scientific temper. Corresponding UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Goal 4, Quality Education. Goal 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. Goal 17, Partnerships for the Goals, Relevant Aspirational UN Agenda. Themes: People, Prosperity, Partnership, Green. Core thematic areas: Sustainable Development, Peace, Environment, Sustainability. Corresponding UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Goal 1, No Poverty. Goal 13, Climate Action. Goal 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions. Goal 17, Partnerships for the Goals, Relevant Aspirational UN Agenda. Themes: People, Planet, Prosperity, Peace, Partnership. The Red-Green Movement is not a standalone entity, but rather a coordinating philosophy that connects a diverse network of organizations and alliances under Professor Sinha's leadership. This network forms the operational backbone of the movement, enabling it to pursue its dual-pillar philosophy through a decentralized yet integrated framework. The Innovation Society, India, founded by Professor Sinha, is the primary institutional vehicle for the Red Pillar within India. It is described as a revolutionary platform committed to fostering an innovative culture, particularly among youth across India. Its work directly supports the movement's core belief that fostering innovation is indispensable for a nation to transition to developed status. The India-Africa Knowledge Consortium extends the Red Pillar's reach to the African continent. Formed to promote Indo-African relations, this consortium's objectives include facilitating networking among ICT leaders, promoting research, and supporting ICT exchange programs for scholars, investors, and students. It also organizes an annual India-Africa ICT Best Students Conference, providing a tangible platform for engagement and information sharing. This consortium represents a practical manifestation of the movement's commitment to South-South cooperation, using knowledge exchange and ICT to build bilateral relations and support development in both regions. Professor Sinha's extensive network of affiliations provides the Red-Green Movement with a powerful platform for global promotion. He serves as a country director for Public Opinions International, an organization that promotes the attainment of the UN SDGs through public awareness, information dissemination, and advisory services. This role provides a formal channel for aligning the movement's work with the UN's goals. Furthermore, his leadership roles in the Asia-Africa Development Council, ADCO, and the Council for Sustainable Peace and Development provide institutional support for the Green Pillar, as these organizations are explicitly dedicated to promoting sustainable peace and development in Asia and Africa. The movement's broader identity as a sturdy campaigner for the Bandung Principle and the UN Office of the South-South Cooperation further demonstrates its commitment to a cooperative, non-Western model of development. A concrete example of the Red-Green Movement's work is the South Sudan Green and Industrial Revolution 2030, which Professor Sinha initiated in partnership with the Vice President of South Sudan. This project serves as a focused, national-level case study for the movement's model, demonstrating the application of its philosophy in a specific, high-need context. The initiative aims to create scientific temper and development infrastructure synergies by attracting investment to facilitate a developed South Sudan. The leadership structure of the Red-Green movement is best understood as a hub-and-spoke model, with Professor Sinha serving as the central hub. The various organizations he leads or is associated with act as the spokes, each with a specialized mission. The Red-Green movement itself is the ideological connective tissue that unifies this entire network, providing a single, overarching narrative for a diverse range of activities. This model allows for maximum leverage of Professor Sinha's influence and connections without the need for a massive, centralized bureaucracy. It presents a cohesive public image for a complex set of initiatives, while enabling specialized, decentralized operations to pursue specific goals. Table 2. Leadership Roles and Affiliated Organizations Organization. Name: World Academy of Informatics and Management Sciences, WAIMS. Preference: Sinha's role, Founder and Group Executive President. Stated purpose, as it relates to Red-Green Pillars. An institution dedicated to knowledge and innovation, RED. Geographical focus, Global Innovation Society, India. Founder and Executive Chairman. Fostering innovative culture among youth, RED. Pan-India Council for Sustainable Peace and Development, Chairman. Promoting global peace and sustainable development, Green, Global. India-Africa Knowledge Consortium, CEO. Promoting Indo-African relations and fostering innovative culture, RED. India-Africa Public Opinions International, Country Director. Promoting the attainment of UN SDGs through public awareness and advisory services, Green, Global. Asia, Africa Development Council, ADCO. Director General, supporting and promoting sustainable peace and development in Asian and African continents, Green, Asia-Africa. South Sudan Green and Industrial Revolution, 2030. Initiator, creating scientific temper and developing infrastructure synergies, Red and Green. South Sudan. A defining characteristic of the Red-Green movement is its strategic alignment with major international and national policy agendas. This alignment provides the movement with a powerful narrative and institutional credibility, positioning it as a key non-state actor in the implementation of these high-level visions. The Red-Green movement's philosophical underpinnings are a direct echo of the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which is a global roadmap for ending poverty, protecting the planet, and tackling inequalities. Professor Sinha is a signatory to the UN Global Compact, UNGC, and is officially a global promoter of the United Nations Sustainable Development Agenda 2030. This direct linkage validates the movement's mission, as its red and green pillars perfectly correspond to the UN's multidimensional approach to development. The movement's advocacy for innovation and quality education aligns with UN SDG 9 on industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and SDG 4 on quality education. The focus on peace, sustainability, and environment directly supports UN SDG 16 on peace, justice, and strong institutions and other environmental goals. The policy of alignment is a form of soft power, allowing a movement that may lack a massive, centralized budget to amplify its influence by integrating into a larger, more powerful narrative. The movement explicitly aligns itself with India's national development goals, particularly with the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to build India as an economic superpower and contribute to a $5 trillion USD economy by 2030. The movement's focus on Innovate India and the creation of a scientific temper among the country's youth is presented as an essential pathway to achieving this national aspiration. The movement's advocacy and organizational efforts contribute to the India Sustainable Development Index, an integral part of India's national planning and reporting. By framing its activities as direct contributions to India's national vision, the movement gains political support and public goodwill. The Red-Green movement actively champions the Bandung Principle and the UN's Office of the South-South Cooperation, UNOSSC, demonstrating a commitment to a collaborative development model among emerging economies. This is operationalized through initiatives like the India-Africa Knowledge Consortium, which aims to strengthen bilateral relations and facilitate knowledge exchange in ICT between India and Africa. The launch of the South Sudan Green and Industrial Revolution 2030 is another tangible example of this commitment, demonstrating a focused effort to support national development in Africa. This strategic positioning is crucial, as it aligns the movement with a growing global trend of cooperation and mutual support among nations of the Global South, creating a platform for collective problem-solving and shared prosperity. The Red-Green Movement's vision is embodied in several ambitious initiatives, each designed to advance its core mission. This section analyzes the stated goals and the available information regarding their implementation, highlighting the strategic communication model at play. The most prominent and audacious goal of the Red-Green Movement is to provide free education to 30 crore, 300 million African and Indian students by 2030. This target is a direct and ambitious response to UN SDG 4, which aims for inclusive and equitable quality education for all. A detailed analysis reveals that this goal appears to function as a powerful, unifying vision rather than a literal, centrally managed program. The available information repeatedly states the aspirational nature of the target, but offers no specific programmatic details, progress reports, or quantifiable metrics of achievement. This can be interpreted as a strategic choice. The goal serves to galvanize support and align the efforts of various existing educational and technological initiatives under a single, memorable banner. When contextualized with a UNESCO report that projects universal secondary education in Southern Asia will not be achieved until 2087, the immense scale of the Red-Green Movement's ambition is underscored. This finding suggests a divergence between the movement's public-facing, highly ambitious moonshot goals and the more concrete but less publicized programmatic details of its institutional work. The former is used to inspire a broad audience, while the latter provides practical pathways for tangible contributions. The Red-Green Movement's Red Pillar is actively promoted through its institutional arm, the Innovation Society, India, which serves as a platform to foster innovative culture across the nation, particularly among youth. Professor Sinha's personal contributions in this area are extensive, including his role as a mentor to PhD scholars, an advisor to over 10 corporates and high-profile entrepreneurs, and as an author. The India-Africa Knowledge Consortium further operationalizes this initiative by organizing ICT exchange programs and an annual conference for top students, offering a concrete platform for knowledge transfer and networking. These specific, actionable initiatives demonstrate a practical commitment to fostering innovation and entrepreneurship, providing a tangible pathway for the movement's Red Pillar. The Green Pillar is supported through the work of the Council for Sustainable Peace and Development and the Asia-Africa Development Council, which aim to promote peace, prevent conflict, and advance sustainable development across Asia and Africa. While the specific projects of these councils are not detailed in the available materials, their existence signifies a dedicated institutional framework for the movement's peace-related goals. The most explicit example of this pillar in action is the South Sudan Green and Industrial Revolution 2030, which applies the movement's philosophy to a specific national context by focusing on attracting investment and developing infrastructure synergies. This decentralized approach allows the movement to address global challenges through specialized, country-specific initiatives. Table 3. Key Initiatives and Aspirational Goals. Initiative, name, Universal Free Education. Stated aspirational goal, to provide free education to 300 million African and Indian students by 2030. Primary institutional vehicle, India-Africa Knowledge Consortium, World Academy of Informatics and Management Sciences, WAIMS. Available evidence of programmatic details or progress. No specific programs or progress reports are detailed in the available documents. Promoting innovation, fostering innovative culture to achieve developed status. Innovation Society, India, India-Africa Knowledge Consortium, evidence of specific platforms and conferences. South Sudan Green and Industrial Revolution 2030, creating a developed South Sudan through scientific temper and infrastructure synergies. NA, launched under the flagship of Professor Sinha. Described as an initiative with a clear vision, but no specific progress reports are available. The Red-Green Movement, while possessing a compelling vision and a robust institutional network, faces strategic challenges in its progression from aspiration to implementation. A critical analysis of the available information points to key areas for future development and action. The primary challenge identified is the notable absence of granular data on project implementation, progress reports, and quantifiable impact metrics for the movement's most ambitious goals. The public communication model appears to be focused on a broad call to action and brand promotion, rather than on detailed accountability and reporting. This pattern is consistent across multiple initiatives, indicating that the information is simply not publicly available in the provided documents. To transition from an aspirational philosophy to a high-impact, globally recognized movement, the development and communication of a robust monitoring and evaluation framework is essential. A significant opportunity for the movement lies in creating a transparent reporting system that tracks progress on its initiatives. This would build credibility and facilitate partnerships with large-scale institutional actors and funders who require evidence of impact for their investments. This is particularly important given that the Red-Green movement operates in a space already occupied by well-funded UN and national initiatives, which often have sophisticated reporting mechanisms. The movement's ability to back its vision with concrete, measurable outcomes will be a critical factor in its future growth, and its capacity to attract significant institutional support. To address these challenges and capitalize on its opportunities, the following recommendations are proposed. Formalize collaborative partnerships. The movement should strategically identify and formalize specific collaborative projects with state actors and international bodies. Leveraging Professor Sinha's existing roles, such as his position as Country Director for Public Opinions International and as a promoter of the UN SDGs, could provide a structured pathway for official partnerships and resource sharing. Develop a granular reporting framework. The movement should create an annual or biannual report that details incremental progress on its key initiatives. For a goal as monumental as the Free Education Initiative, this could involve tracking the number of students reached through specific programs, partnerships, or scholarships, breaking down the large aspirational goal into smaller, trackable metrics. Leverage ICT expertise for scalable solutions. Professor Sinha's extensive background in information and communication technologies can be utilized to develop digital platforms or technological solutions that can scale the free education and innovation initiatives more effectively. This would not only provide a tangible product or service under the red pillar, but also create a pathway for reaching the ambitious numerical targets. The Red-Green Movement 2030, initiated by Professor Ripu Ranjan Sinha, is a powerful and visionary initiative that provides a unifying framework for global and national development. By strategically linking innovation, red, with sustainable development and peace, green, the movement has created a compelling and easily understood philosophy that resonates with established global agendas, most notably the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The movement's institutional architecture, built as a decentralized network around the central figure of Professor Sinha, is a shrewd model that allows for broad influence and a coordinated response to diverse challenges. As the movement progresses toward its 2030 deadline, its enduring relevance will hinge on its ability to translate its unifying vision into measurable, impactful outcomes. While its aspirational goals are a powerful tool for galvanizing support, a critical next step will be to develop a robust, transparent, and data-driven reporting system. By formalizing partnerships, creating a granular reporting framework, and leveraging its core expertise in technology, the Red-Green movement can transition from a compelling philosophy to a demonstrably effective force for global change, ultimately contributing to a more prosperous, peaceful, and sustainable world. For more information and support, visit www.ripuranjansinha.in or AsiaFrica, online.com, or wames.co.in, or general.wames.co.in, or samridbharat.net, or WhatsApp +919602570498.